Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to edit a native iOS widget, and with the help of that edit feature we can send and manipulate our logic for our widget. So let's see how to do that. So firstly, I have created a native iOS application. I am using UIKit, but if you want you can use SwiftUI as well. All the logic for our widget will be written in SwiftUI, so don't worry too much about it. The only reason I am using UIKit is still a lot of people use UIKit. So yeah, let's see this. So first, inside my view controller there is nothing. So basically what I will do is that I will create one user defaults. Okay, I will store some number inside our user default. In case if you don't know, user default, it is basically used to store key value data. In terms, if you have complex data you can use Swift data, core data, or if you have completely different logic for your widget kit, feel free to use whatever you feel like. But in this case I'm using user defaults. Suppose I increment some number, increment that number from our application, then inside our widget we will see that number to what you have incremented. We can increment that number from our widget it's also. So I'm incrementing by 1, but with the help of edit widget I can set that increment count as well. So suppose I want to increment it by 2, then every time you click on the button your number will increment by 2. This is a simple use case because I want to concentrate on the widget logic mostly, but you can think your own idea on what you want to achieve with this feature. So firstly I have created a sample application just before I record these videos, just so that I can copy paste all the code. It's very difficult to remember all the code by myself. So first I'll just copy this code and I'll explain it to you. I'll go to my view controller and I'll paste it over here. So here you can see I have this UI view controller. It has a UI label as well as UI button. Okay, this is the user defaults key for storing that number, and here is a text alignment for our label as well as font. I'm setting the title of our button as well as one click listener as well, and here I'm adding the label as well as button to our view. Then here I'm just setting some NS layout constraints to our label as well as button. Okay, and here I'm just calling update label, which I will show you shortly. Once the button click is called, I'm just calling this user defaults. Now if you notice, I'm not using user defaults dot standard because we want this user defaults to be used on widget side as well. So for that you will have to use user defaults suit name, and here you can pass group dot whatever is your bundle identifier. Okay, so I'll just go over here, go to sign in and capabilities. I'll copy my bundle identifier. In the meantime what I'll do is I'll just erase all the contents from my simulator. Okay, and I'll go back to my application and I'll just paste it over here. Alright, so group should be common for all, rest everything you can paste your bundle identifier. So here we are checking user defaults. Once we get a value we just increment it by 1 and save it back to user defaults. If you see the update label, again I'll just update this user defaults suit name. Here you can see we again get the value, and whatever value we get we just update it to our label from user defaults. Pretty simple till here, right? Then what you will have to do is you just have to click on file, new, target, select iOS, inside filter search for widget, and here you will see this widget extension. Click next, give it whatever name you want. I'll just keep it as my iOS app widget. Uncheck this include live activity as well as include control, and just click on finish. Once you click on finish, it will create all the code for you. Okay, just wait for this. Then click on activate as well, and if you see over here it has created the widget for me. Now firstly you will go to app intent. So here you will define, so this is the editing widget parameter. Here you can see by default it is telling us to edit emoji. This is just a sample application which they have created. I don't want to edit emoji. I want to set the increment count, how much our user default should be incremented from our widget, right? So for that I will go to my practice project and I'll change it with this particular parameter. You can change it with whatever you feel like according to your widget logic. So here you can see I have changed it to an integer, and by default you will increment by 1, but the user can change this particular value as well, which I will show you guys in the output. Okay, I'll just quickly run this application. Oh sorry, I'll stop this. While running the application, make sure you select your original application and not the extension. Again, our logic is not done yet, but I'm just running it inside here for now. Then if you see this bundle thing, Okay, ignore this error, we'll fix that error soon. If you see over here, it references this particular file, my iOS app widget, right? Go over here. I'll just close this because this never works for me. Now if you see this particular thing, simple entry, it takes a date and configuration. This is fine, but I want to actually display the count from our user defaults, right? So I will add one more parameter called count and of type int. All right, next I'll just go to my sample application. So here if you see now, simple entry, it is used these three places. We'll have to update it. Count. How will I get my count? I will define one method called get value. It will be basically like getting a value from user defaults. So I'll just copy this. I can paste it over here and I will paste it over here. Now here if you see, they have generating this time logic, which I don't really want. So what I can do is I can do something like this. I will remove entries. I'll just copy this. I'll paste it over here. I don't want to update that widget automatically, so I'll just do it as never, because we have a button, the user will click on it, that will update our widget. And I'll just comment all this out. And for date, if you have it, you can remove this date as well as you can remove this date. Sorry, don't remove this configuration, we need it, but you can remove this date, but I'll just keep it for now. I'll just keep it as now date. Also if you see, they are using it over here as well, simple entry. This is just for preview part. I can just give it some value, count of 0. Okay, this is only for preview, so I don't mind hard coding the values. Here favorite emoji is not there. I'll just comment this out. I'll comment this out as well. Okay, because we have removed this favorite emoji. If you want, you can set the count over here, but yeah, for me, I don't want to set the count. This is again used over here. Okay, so we don't, even if we don't set the count, that's fine. Next we will come over here. So here you will define how your widget should look like. So I'll again go back to my code. So firstly we have to define this get value method, right? So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So if you see, basically again we'll have to change this suit name. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it over here. So here you can see, yeah, so basically we are fetching the value from this particular key. If we have a value, return that. If not, return 0. So now this all errors are gone. So if you remember, get value was used over here as well as over here. This is fine. Now change the UI how you want the widget to look like. I'll keep things simple. So here you can see I'm displaying. I'll just copy this. I'll paste it over here. Okay, I'll remove this. I'll just do Control I for proper indentation. Here you can see this is the value of our count, which is present inside user defaults. Okay, and this is how much the user increments by. I'm just showing it in the UI side as well. If you want, you can remove this part. And here we, for button, we can't assign an automatic click as well. We have to use something called app intents. So for that I have defined, I will have to create this particular thing called increment intent. So I'll just go to my application, right click, new empty file, increment intent. Okay, next again I'll go back to my practice project. I'll copy everything and then I'll explain it to you. So if you go back over here, here we are passing what the user has selected for incrementing, right? Whether it by default it is 1, which we had set over here. The user can change it to 2, 3, 4, whatever he feels like, and that value we will get over here. Then we pass it to our increment intent. So if you see, this is import app intent as well as Swift data. This is standard boilerplate code of assigning title. Here this is the key where we are storing, right? This is the parameter of increment count. So by default I'm setting it to 1, but if we get this value from our button side, we set it to whatever the user has selected, and we have to define this perform method. So basically again we'll have to change this user defaults. So what I'll do is I'll go to view controller, and here is my user defaults, right? So I'll just copy this, go to increment intent, and I'll change it over here. So basically we are fetching the value from user defaults key. Whatever the user has set for increment count, if he has not, it will be 1. we are updating the value and setting it to user defaults. So hopefully till here everything is clear. Now what I'll do, I'll just copy this particular value. I'll go to my application, I'll click on select this particular target of your app, click on plus capability, search for app group, select enter, and here you will have to click on this plus button, and here you will have to write this particular thing what you have set it for your user defaults, and I'll click on OK. Okay, so here you can see it has showing this, so there is no error. Now go to our extension, click on plus capability, again select app group, and hopefully it will automatically if just wait for some time. I can go back to this and come back over here. Okay, so here you can see it is automatically displaying, and this is the app group which I created, right? So here you can see, make sure the same one is selected for your widget extension as well as for your app. Now I will just run my application. Hopefully there are no errors. Okay, so it is run properly. Irrespective of whether you are using user defaults or not, you have to use this app groups. Okay, so let's just wait for the application to install and boot up. Okay, let's just wait some more time. Okay, here you can see now I can just click on this increment button, so it has incremented the value for us. So it is 9 at the moment. I will completely close the app. I'll long press on it, click on edit home screen, click on edit, click add widget, enter your app name. So I'll just enter my app name, and here you can see it has started displaying our widget. So you can choose whatever you feel like. I'll just choose the second one, and this is how my widget looks like. So here you can see increment count is 1, which is the default value. Value is 9, which we set from our application, right? I can just change this to level 12, 13. Okay, if I open my app again, here you can see it is 13. If your app is in background, make sure you completely close it and reopen it, because once if you change the value over here, and if your app is in background like this, it will still show 13, because I am not updating the label on view did appear, right? I am only updating it on view did load. If you want, you can call the logic in view did appear as well. Okay, now where is the edit widget feature, right? So you have to long press on it, click on edit widget, and here you can see increment by 1. So if you remember, we have written this inside the app indent part. So this is the thing. Now I will just change this particular, I just click on this one, change it to whatever you feel like. I'll just change it to 2. I'll click enter. I'll press it outside. Now here you can see increment is 2. Now if I click on increment me, you can see it changed it to 16. If I click on it, it is 18. And if I click on my app again, here you can see it is 18. But here it is still by 1, okay, because we are not maintaining state inside our native iOS application. It is only for that particular widget. This is only for the widget. If you want, you can maintain some state inside your application as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.